Hello everyone. So you might be wondering, what are these things that looks like lipstick sitting right in front of me? So I will tell you more about this later on in the video. Okay, so what you see in front of me here, it's the KingArt gel sticks. Now, these come in two different numbers of colors. I think this one is the 48 colors one, the other one is the 24. So the 48 colors one comes with, I think this is the shimmery colors or metallic colors as we'll call it. So they come with this and also a set of pastel colors that are all mixed inside, I think. Okay, so these looks like this, and they literally look like lipsticks, and they do apply like lipsticks too. Okay, so they are like this, and they're quite long, so I don't want to extrude them out, but they're probably about this long. Okay, and they're very soft. They act like water soluble oil pastels, even softer though. So they're very soft and they react like water soluble oil pastel. You can smudge them, you can blend them. You'll see later on. I'll show you all the properties of these. And of course I did do my light fast test with these. So this is the entire 48 set. I don't have the box anymore because I've already sent it off for recycling. And I bought these earlier in the year 2022 for around, I think, 40 Singapore dollars. They're not very expensive considering they're like about $1 each. And I've been eyeing these for like almost 2 years now, ever since I heard about it. And the reason I was eyeing it was because I was comparing these to the Marabou gel sticks. The Marabou gel sticks have been advertised as light fast, and these I wasn't sure if they were. So when I decided to just take the dive and say, okay, I'll do my own light fast test to see if they are, and I will show you what they are later on towards the end of the video. Okay, for now we're taking a look at how these gel sticks work on paper. Okay, so now I am going to do the usual test to show you how they react like. So one of the properties of this gel stick is that they're water soluble, but they become stable after a few hours, which I will do the test to see, but the test results may vary because, as you all know, I live in a tropical country, so things dry a bit faster here because of the heat. So I'm going to test these out on the water solubility of these products after a set amount of time, like at 1 hour, 3 hours, and 24 hours. Okay, now these colors here that you can see at the edge of the screen, these are the metallic colors, which I will show you later. All right, so here we go. We're gonna see how well these blend. Now you can already tell that they are pretty transparent. So I'm going to use my finger now to blend the colors in, and you will see the effect. Okay? Just getting some tissue to wipe my fingers off. So this is with finger blending, and you can tell that they do blend very well. In the smudge test, I will show you. I will do another one for the blending test. So I would say they smudge about almost as well as the water-soluble Mangyo oil pastel. Yeah, so they do react like that. But they lay down buttery smooth, literally like painting on gel sticks. So I'm going to do another blending test without any smudging, just dry blending. The only inconvenient thing that I can think of is you have to keep tapping and recapping them every so often, because you have to uncap them to use it and then recap them when not in use, because they do tend to dry out. And now with this, you can tell that they do blend dry without me using my fingers. They do blend wet as well, which I am going to show you. And they're quite pigmented, I would say. Okay, and then how well do these dissolve? So I'm going to do 2 colors, and you can either judge for yourself. So I haven't actually tried these out yet either. So this is my first time looking at it. So they don't completely dissolve, and I'm trying to scrub them to see if they do right now. Nah, they don't seem to want to dissolve completely, so they're better for just blending. Using water for blending. Yeah, they don't want to dissolve completely. They won't. Okay, so that's part of these properties. So I want to see how well they blend and mix when you do 2 colors. They actually mix pretty well, surprisingly. You can see the purple hue there. Okay, I'll do a separate one here, so you can see the difference. So I would say they do mix, the colors do mix very well. So you can tell from here, this is purple. It's definitely purple. Okay, there are no doubts about that. Now, what about the white? Is it opaque enough? We'll see. It's not. It's very translucent. Okay. What if I put more? Nothing happens. Alright, so you can lighten the color. You can layer on it. It does lighten it up. Okay. But beyond that, the whites aren't very good for the highlights, if that's what you were thinking of doing. So no, they're not very good for highlights. Okay, I am not going to do the sgraffito thing because I don't think these would work. but we know that they're water soluble and they go on like butter and lipstick. How about, let's say if I wanted to do layering, so I'm gonna do one layer here. Yeah, about 4 layers is the maximum it will go. And then you have to fight the paper. Again, this is drawing paper, normal art block paper. So they're not any special paper like mixed media paper or whatever. But look at how smooth it goes down. And there's a little shimmer when it's still wet. Okay, so they do go down like lipsticks, but they don't melt into the paper. So it's good. It's good. So now I'm going to show you the metallic colors here. Okay, this gold is probably one of my favorite color. So I'm going to swatch them out and show you how they're like. Does look gold. Okay, I don't know about the silver. Gold is about the only thing that I remember, because when I was swatching them out for my light fast test, I really liked the color. Okay, I'm gonna grab the metallic pink because I know some of you like metallic pink. Okay, I think this is the metallic pink. Yeah, it is. So this is a small sample of how the metallic colors look like. They do have a little sheen to it. Okay, as you can see here. Okay, again, I will show you the light fast test towards the end of the video. Alright, so these are the KingArt gel sticks. Okay, the ones I have is the 48 colors. They're water soluble, although they don't dissolve very well, as you can see here, but enough. Okay, so enough. It's good for blending, so only use water for blending. Now the only drawback that I can see is that these things are so soft, they'll wear out really fast, and they're really thick, so it's not very good for fine details. Okay, and I feel that it's a waste if you're gonna sharpen this point, sharpen it down to the point, and it will wear out really fast. So I don't think it's worth it. So keep this for like maybe covering huge areas for coloring, and leave your fine details using some other stuff. That's probably my recommendation. But I've been looking forward to trying these out like this for like a really long time, and I know at least one person on my Facebook group is looking forward to that too. So I would say these are quite worth it. Okay, because if I show you my light fast test later, you will know why I say these are quite worth it. Because for 48 colors at around $40, it's less than $1 per stick, which is quite reasonable. I would say they are budget range stuff, but they're pretty light fast too. You will see there's some colors that are fugitive, but they're pretty light fast. You will see the details of the results at the end towards the end of this video. So next, I am going to do a coloring demo using entirely only this. So I will talk to you again later. So here we have the 1 hour test. So I've painted a swatch on this card, which is also just a piece of drawing block, the same one that I used earlier. Not the same exact piece, but the same type of material. So what I'm going to do now is, this has been left on the card and dried for like an hour. That's why it's 1 hour here. So I'm going to smudge it and see what happens. Okay. So this is after 1 hour. It does smudge a little bit, as you can see here. And then there are little bits on here that are, you know, that came with it. And it's not dry yet either. So I'm going to put some water on this water brush. Okay, there is nothing here on the water brush. So I'm going to put a drop of water on and then see if it dissolves. So it's not stable yet after 1 hour. You can see that there's still paint coming off. See, you can still work with it after 1 hour, and this is under the tropical climate. Okay, it's around, I would say 30 degrees, 29 or 30 degrees, because it's nighttime right now, and it's not completely stable yet after an hour. Okay, so next it's going to be the other 3 tests that you will be seeing: the 2 hour, 3 hour, and the 24-hour test. Alright, here we have a swatch that was made 2 hours ago. So we're going to do the smudge test and the water test to see if it still smudges and if it's still water soluble after 2 hours. So it's noticeably less smudgeable now. You can only see like a tiny bit. I think it's not visible on camera. Okay, it's just barely, almost non-existent smudging after 2 hours. And water soluble, it's still quite a bit water soluble, as you can tell by the color that's coming off. Okay. Right, so next is the 3 hour test. And okay, so we're at the 3 hour mark now. So I'm going to test the water solubility and the smudgeability after 3 hours. I kind of doubt I can smudge this after the 3rd hour. Yeah, very minimal smudging here. Very minimal. Just, you can see like a shade of it. Like very barely. So water solubility, it'll still dissolve in water. Okay. So after 3 hours, you can't smudge it, but you can still dissolve it in water. So I have another 2 tests depending on how the next one does, which is the 24-hour one. If that doesn't dissolve in water, then I won't bother doing the other one that is I have set up for 3 days later. Okay, so this is the 24-hour test for this card. This card has been painted on for and being left to dry for the last 24 hours. And let's do the smudge test. Okay, the smudge test, there's very slight smudging, but barely visible. I don't think you can see it on camera, maybe slightly, but yeah, that's about as smudgy as you get at this point. Now, how stable is it with water? It still dissolves with water. So this is the 3-day test for the KingArt gel stick, and I'm testing for smudgeability, which is almost non-existent at this point. Very slight smudging, almost non-noticeable. How about dissolving in water? It still dissolves in water. Okay, so it still dissolves in water, as you can see. So even after 3 days, it still can be dissolved, but it's stable in the sense that you can't smudge it anymore. I went through my Neurospiral class again to create this piece of neurographic art. There are so many neurolines in this artwork that I almost didn't know where to start. As I started applying the gel sticks to the paper, it really started feeling like coloring with a stick of lipstick. When I started smudging with my finger, oh, the feeling is sublime. I can feel my finger gliding through the peaks and valleys of this cold-pressed watercolor paper that I was using. It feels like spreading soft butter on the paper. At least for me, this soothing feeling tops the feeling of spreading chalk pastels on paper. This feels much more smoother and satisfying. I waited for the first layer to dry before applying my second layer. This way the colors won't mix to produce muddy colors. Even though the colors weren't really opaque, you could still differentiate between the first and the second layer clearly. And I really love the soothing feeling of this medium on the paper. And finally, I'm laying down my last layer. This is where I put in all the details to make the painting look less flat. Coloring with this medium was a breeze. They covered the entire painting very fast. The medium also makes shading and blending a breeze. And lastly, have I mentioned how good these things feels when you're pushing the paints around the paper with your fingers? So this is the light fast test result on the KingArt gel sticks. Now I would like to add that the way these tests are conducted is in no way scientific by any means. It's just a swatch of all the colors that I own for this KingArt gel sticks, and it's put into a plastic document holder, transparent plastic document holder, and then hung on a south-facing window that gets indirect sun the entire day. Bear in mind that I live in the tropics, so we do get very strong sun. Even indirect sun is still pretty strong, and it's behind glass, so by no means museum conditions. Okay, so bear that in mind. And it has been sitting on my window for 90 days. And this is the final result. This swatch sheet you're seeing here is the one that was sitting on the windowsill. It's the one that was being exposed on the window. Alright? And this swatch I'm holding, that I'm moving around right now, is the one that is sitting in an envelope in a dark closet. And immediately you can tell some changes here, like very significantly, even without showing this swatch. You can tell that this has almost totally faded. Okay, and that was the original color. And surprisingly, this purple didn't do anything at all. I was expecting this purple to fade. Well, it may have faded a tad, but not very visible unless you put the two colors together. Okay, so let me scroll slowly through and you will see. So you can also tell that this orange color here has some slight, very, very slight fading. Okay, and this one is very obvious. Okay, so this magenta color has faded to become this color, a lighter version of this color. And this pink has some very slight fading, although not very visible. And this one does have some fading as well. You can tell it's very visible. Okay. And with these other colors, there doesn't seem to be any other fading. Okay, and as mentioned earlier, this purple, okay, it's this side now that is exposed to the sun. So you can't really tell if there's any fading at all for this. Can't really tell. I mean, it looks like there's some. The greens. This is actually silver and gold. So, and these don't look like it faded at all. I mean, right now it's the sheen that looks like it's lightened, but let me tilt the color a bit. Let me tilt the paper up a bit and you see that it's not really, it doesn't look like it has faded at all. Okay, so if there's fading, you can tell, like example, this one. Definitely faded. The pink. These are the iridescent colors, like the silver, the gold, etc. And it looks like the pinks are the really faded one. This color did not fade at all. Whatever color change you see here is from the... Okay, let me cover the light a little bit so you can tell. Like, you see there isn't really much fading for that color. Alright, so next one, these colors again. This pink, you can tell faded. This purple, I can't really tell. It may look like there's some slight fading, but not a whole lot. Okay. But this blue and this purple looks okay. Now this blue, I'm trying to see here. Okay, no, there isn't fading, it's just the sheen. And this green looks fine. So there really isn't much shading. There really isn't much fading for these colors, except for this. Like very significant at this one here. I would say there's a slight change here and a slight change here. This one, then this two, and definitely this one. So if I would make a guess, I would say that over the years, if you have any painting done with this, the ones that have significantly faded will be the ones that will be totally white. Okay? And the ones that are kind of sort of faded will probably last a little bit longer than the ones that have faded, like this one here. Okay, so even with this fading, I would say that if you hang them inside your home, you probably still last a few years before you can see a significant color change. Okay, I have color pencil drawings or paintings hang inside my home on the wall that it's pink and it's known to be fugitive, and they're still pink. Okay, they don't look white, they still look pink. So there's that, and it's been up there for, I don't know, 3 years now. So they're good. You know, they're still good. No, actually, yeah, it's almost 2 years It's only almost 2 years, so not 3 years, 2 years. So they're pretty good, and that pink color did not last the full 1 week under full direct sun. So it's definitely fugitive. Okay, so it's kind of hard to say. Fugitive color on Lightfast test, your own personal Lightfast test, will still probably last you a few years, as opposed to, I mean, if you hang them inside your home and not outdoors and away from direct light, it'll still last you a few years if you take care of it properly. Of course, I wouldn't sell those pieces to any of your clients, but otherwise they're okay for you to hang in your home. And they're faded, take them down, color them again, put them back up, or take them down and put in a new one. Alright, so with that, I will end the video here, and I will talk to you again in the next video. Bye!